Folks, welcome back to the Shacknews stage here at Indie Heaven. We are back with another interesting and fascinating game. I'm joined on the stage with my good friend David. David, how are you today?
Hey Andrew, I'm doing solid, thanks.
Fantastic. So you're here with Bard's Tale.
Yeah.
And I think you have an interesting trailer that you want to show off real quick.
Yeah.
So we're going to toss it over so you guys can check out the trailer. Awesome trailer. Awesome to see Bard's Tale back in action. So, can you give me a little elevator pitch about what the game is?
Oh, of course I can.
Excellent.
So the Bard's Tale the Bard's Tale 4 Barrows Deep is a party-based fantasy RPG. You set out to recruit and customize your very own band of adventurers. You engage in deep turn-based strategy combat. If you like games like Darkest Dungeon, you are going to love the Bard's Tale.
I love Darkest Dungeon, so my ears are peaked right now.
Darkest Dungeon is kind of, we almost say like it's one-dimensional. It's like a line of characters lined up, and we take it into 2 dimensions, and we bring all the ability play and resource management and strategy and combo finding, like really to a whole new level. You explore the fantasy world of Kaith. You meet our cast of fully voiced characters, and in this over 30-hour game, you save the world!
Excellent. Perfect. Can you go in a little detail about the combat? Because with the trailer, it kind of has almost like a first-person, over-the-shoulder feel to it. It feels like old school, like Shin Megami Tensei type feel. Can you tell a little bit about it?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, a good analogy is it's like a Western JRPG.
Right.
So you're going through, you have this entire party of adventurers. You get up to 6 adventurers, and you get to customize each one. There's 4 archetypes. Each one has 4 to 6 subclasses with over 60 skills each.
Wow.
There are thousands of ways you can build your party, and each one prevents like a different sort of angle into the combat. And then so you adventure through and you spend points, you're spending spell points, you're comboing passives and abilities, and if you like, you get games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, things like that, you know how like I have a passive and it procs when I move and I get to move free because this guy gives an ability, and it's all about finding all those cool ways to build something that feels totally broken.
That's awesome. It's always interesting to see a game with so many intricate systems playing together and complementing each other at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's great. How is it making such a thick game now in like modern times? Because this feels more like an old school RPG, but you're bringing it into the modern time.
I mean, making it feels great because we really feel like we're doing something that people have never seen before. Because the answer is like they might not have seen something like this since Wizardry.
Right.
Because we're really hearkening back to this old school, really meaty, crunchy strategy gameplay that goes back to, the Bard's Tale 3, which was released over 30 years ago.
Right, yeah.
But we really brought it up to, we've not only taken the aesthetics, which the game looks amazing, but we've taken the design sensibilities and really brought it up to the modern era. And so, plenty of, really great feedback. There's so many ways to customize and, combine your characters in combat to do things you never thought possible.
Right, okay. And going in with the customization, is there, you have a wide array of customization options, but only, 3 are good? Or is there a wide choice for people?
Well, so to give you, the best way I can say it is, so there's 4 archetypes. You can be a sturdy fighter, obviously a bard who can sing magical songs by getting plastered on the battlefield.
Of course,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to work up your courage.
Oh yeah, I play D&D. I know how those bards are like. Yeah, yeah.
Or you can be a practitioner of magic, or you can be a stealthy rogue. Each one has 4 to 6 subclasses, and each one of those subclasses is a very strong direction for the character. But as you build your character, you can usually spec into 2 or 3 of those and then mix and match them. So each one is a very valid option. Then you have up to 6 characters and then 7 races to pick from, and each race has a super high impact ability, like Trow are able to get back opportunity points, which is this really important resource every time they kill someone. Or dwarves are immune to crowd control. Really, really important things that shape your character.
That's big, yeah.
Right. And so when you combine all those, the number of even reasonable permutations, if you're being conservative, is thousands and thousands of ways to build your party. And it's not just your party you get to customize, but as you saw in the trailer and as you might see as we're rolling the film, you get to upgrade your weapons. We have puzzle weapons, these elven puzzle weapons.
Okay.
In forges of long past in the elven realm, they forge these magical puzzle weapons, which basically have like arcane security systems on them. There's deep magic, like it drips poison or it'll drive your enemy insane or something like that. But you have to prove yourself worthy. And so much like the game The Room, you get to inspect the weapon, rotate it in full 3D.
Okay, that's
you can find little hidden compartments and buttons, and you even find puzzles baked into the weapon. And as you solve them and unlock it, it gains new power. And each upgrade really changes how you play. It might your attacks might start lighting enemies on fire, or it might knock them back, or give them different status effects, or like rend their armor off. And all of those things have huge impact on how you might use an ability.
That is a very clever way to handle progression with weapons. I've never heard of solve a puzzle so your sword is better. That's really cool. So with Bard's Tale, it's kind of like a long series, and like many folks may be like, oh, I don't want to play this because I haven't played the other ones. Can a new, fresh, young lad jump into this game and be fine with just playing this game, or do they need to play the older ones to understand it?
So the Bard's Tale, even from a lore perspective, takes place 150 years past the events of Bard's Tale 3. And so we really built the entire experience as a way for, if older players know the games, they're going to recognize landmarks, and they're like, oh, I know that street, or I know there's a secret over here because there was one in the old games. But if you're a new player, we really built the game for new players to be able to explore and discover Scarabray for the first time.
Okay, cool.
And so the whole thing is really built with those first-time players in mind.
Okay, yeah. Oh, awesome. So, like, speaking about Bard's Tale, it's kind of known for its narrative and, like, the player choices. Will that happen in this upcoming game?
So we play through a rich 30-hour-long story that each character is fully voiced, and there are some key moments where you get to make high-impact decisions. Which characters are you taking on your adventure? But we really focus on the combat more than anything.
Okay.
And we really wanted to build a really crisp experience where each time you go into a zone, the enemies and the challenges before you force you to like re-strategize how you were thinking about going into this zone, and I might have to abandon this party member and pick up a new one just so I can have the right abilities to really crack the strategic puzzle.
Okay, awesome. Now with character customization, can you customize how they look? I know you can choose the race and the class, but like how much more customization do you have as a player?
So we really focus on the kind of customization that you get to play with, the kind that you get to like interact with. And so we don't focus as much on like the aesthetic customization, though as you upgrade your character, you get to see them hold that rad new puzzle weapon. You can see them don their new armor. But where we really focus is like all the ways you get to actually interact with them, mainly in combat. Like because like each character really expresses themselves in a different way when you're in the middle of a fight.
Okay, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And finally, for folks who are interested about this game, where can they, get their hands on it? Where can they get more information about it? What's up with that? We have
pre-orders available on the Bard's Tale or bardstale.com.
Okay, cool.
And you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at the Bard's Tale.
Cool. Do you have a release date yet?
We're releasing this year.
This year. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Nice and vague. I love it. David, thank you so much for joining us. And folks, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to switch around, get a new game to talk about, so stay tuned.